Hey, what's up? It's Kayla, part of week number 4, post week 4 recap. Thank you so much to Vishal for covering for me. We might make it a whatchamacallit, a permanent fixture so that I might be covering even weeks and he might be covering odd weeks. We'll see how it all works out. But I've been dealing with a lot lately, so it was really nice. He didn't have to do that at all, and he just stepped up, and I really appreciate it. So, because of that, I wanted to give back to you. I want these to be better quality, so that is what I will be focusing on because now I have more time to edit and I'm not as stressed about actually producing the content, but I have ideas of what I want to do. I know I haven't acted upon all my ideas, but there's a specific game coming up and I'm really hoping I have the dorm all to myself because you might be hearing some commentary about the game, about the 1 seed versus the 2 seed. So I'm really excited about that. Without further ado, let's get on to week 4. Really like the matches we had this week. I didn't get to view all of them, but I got to view most of them. Like this one, I viewed Hero Hunters versus the Rutgers Rampardos. Hero Hunters are ranked as the 12th best team. Rutgers Rampardos are ranked as the 15th best team. They both have positive winning records. I believe both of them are 2-1 heading into this match, so it's not like that's not the reason why I'm a little under on both teams. I think there's team issues, and while both teams have able to overcome that, obviously, their wins haven't been as impressive as, let's say, Kayla's, or Steamy Stunfisk, or the Kansas Klefkes, or even a team that's in a similar boat, like the Cecil Saraledge. I just didn't feel like those wins were as impactful. And they also have the team comp issues, so this match was like a throwaway in my opinion. There wasn't a lot I was looking forward to. I don't mean that in a negative way, I just mean like standings wise, there just wasn't a lot I was looking forward to because I felt like there wasn't any conceivable way for any of these teams to really make movement. And so we're going to have a Venomoth versus Reggie Alecki lead. It's going to Sleep Powder. I think this turn is going to be huge. And then we see probably the biggest reason why this team has been underrated for me is because of those plays. Luckily it has Lumberry for reasons, but still very, very confusing. That is a little glitched out. But Rampardos is going to do what Rampardos has been doing all season, and it's just going to pick up kills. It doesn't matter if it's resisted. I think that's been the huge bright spot of Rutgers Rampardos. I just wasn't expecting Rampardos to be as menacing as it's been. It's going to pick up 3 kills just like that, and all of a sudden it looks like this game's running away. And then we have a crazy D-dance on a swap. I don't have the calcs, but I think we learn later on, or there is a pokey paste, but Rampardos is banded. This is banded, Rock Slide, Sheer Force, Terra Rock, Rampardos. To D-dance on it is wild. It's wild. Arguably, you could say there were mistakes here. I think sacking Hat was the best play. You either do that or Palisand, and we're going to see Reggie Alecki come out. I think that's a horrible play because it's your win con, or at least it should have been this game a win con. We're going to see 3 Mons just sacked into Duocean, which somehow lives on 1, gets the Trick Room off, going to be able to get some chip, and kill for Alligator. Eventually, Rampardos comes in, picks up the kill, but still, it's and another Sashmon, which is insane. No flinch, obviously, Sheer Force. The Force banded, and Knock comes off, and it's going to be a 1-0 victory. I don't know why the doc says 3-0, unless I'm misread or something, but very interesting match. Like I said, didn't really move the needle for both of these teams. I felt like they both made a lot of mistakes, and neither of them are at the level of an Attack on Titan or Cincinnati Willows, right? I need that kind of win from them, from either team, really. And they will have the opportunity. I think I specifically was looking at the Hero Hunters schedule, and they have Attack on Titan, funnily enough, on their schedule, I think, coming up at Cecil Saraledge. So either of those, I think, would be big wins that put them in the stratosphere. Record is there. They're looking like a playoff team, or at least very least a play-in team. But on the other side of things, I think you're kind of seeing this team peak. Trick Room is definitely going to be doing a lot because you just have such amazing mons, but Regieleki going down as early as it did and not really seeing usage, particularly as speed control, is something I'm a little bit worried about. But besides from that, I think it was just a good win, but it doesn't really move the needle. Moving on, we have Trick Room team sitting at number 14th up against the Ceaseless Cerulege. Very interesting matchup because I think the Trick Room team have dug themselves a hole. They're 1-2 coming into this, but they've arguably should be 2-1, maybe 3-0. I don't want to put that out into the world, but because of lack of good play, lack of greatest team building, this team is sitting at a pretty measly record. And on the other side of things, we have the Ceaseless Cerulege, who I believe heading into this week, they were 3-0, or no, 2-1. They were also 2-1. They had some big wins. They also had a really bad loss against the Veilstone Fishers, but they also had a really good week 1. So very flip-flop, and then week 3 they received a forfeit win, so it's like very weird schedule to start things off. They haven't really had that opponent to play against yet, and because of that, I feel like I don't want to say their schedule's a little inflated, but it's not the most, they don't have the most, similar to the Hero Hunters, they don't really have that impressive win yet, and they also, well, they do have a pretty depressing loss, but they also don't really have they don't fall into the category where I'm like, this team is very interesting, I don't know what to do with this team. Their team is pretty solid, and their play this season, for the most part, has been very solid. So I think with those two things combined, that's why they've been pushed all the way up to, well, now they're at, what, 9th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. But they could easily jump up high. They just need those wins. So, let's get into the game. We see Mr. Hands. I love me some Mr. Hands. Is gonna, unfortunately, I think that is pretty much confirmed. Some kind of banded thing. But really good play so far. We're gonna get Smeargle in, which does absolutely nothing like Smeargle usually does. That is probably the one thing that I want to say about this team is some of the ones that they have are just really filler and could be a lot better, and Smeargle definitely falls into that category, so I'm really hoping something like that is traded away. Not to give a spoiler, but there's already been transactions made for this team, but Smeargle is still on the team, so it's like, I really like their transactions, but just me personally, I'm not the biggest Smeargle fan in the world. But this confirmed Scarf is going to pick up the kill. Zarina's going to come out, force the steal in on a good knockoff. Taunt's really nice here, preventing 2-wave rocks, something like that. U-turn back into Salazzle. Free press. Sub is insane, not taking damage, but also on the Earthquake. In the moment, I thought that was really interesting. You could easily double Noivern and get off U-turn, bring in Zarina back in, bring in Palma back in, someone. I just felt like they didn't really have the tools to take down a Registeel. They didn't really know. I think it gets high jump. No high jump Zarina, no close combat Zarina, nothing like that. And we're gonna see Registeel put in some serious work. As it doubles, we get rocks back up, force a spin, possibly get momentum here on a U-turn, or with the U-turn. Actually, a slow U-turn is even better, so you're gonna be able to get in Knackle Stack, which is perfect. It's not gonna be able to get Toxic, yup. And now Salazzle's pretty much out of the game. It can sub one more time, but obviously, and you get the rock sub, which is even perfect word. And you make a really good play. I like that. Taunt is interesting. I like Shadow Ball. I think it's a fantastic play. And now you Registeel back on the knockoff. So far, just well played. You have Salazzle being sacked, which is like, now what do you do? Palma has to come in. And you don't have to switch, so it takes it, and it's going to deal out chip. So Registeel absolutely huge because of killing Salazzle, getting chip on Palma, getting chip on Zarina. Fantastic, and it was able to get an actual stack in the game, get a rock, so really impressive stuff. Morgrim's even going to pick up some kills. Trick is really funny to get an Evulite, very interesting play because that could have mattered. We're not going to see any flinches. So Arena comes in on the Terra Fairy in case of the Dark Pulse, which I think is smart, and you also can't get this. Salt Cure is the right play, 100%. And for now, you are pretty free to just start spamming Salt Cure, because if Palmont comes in, it's practically dead. Noivern comes in, it's taking too much chip, so you're in a really good position here. And we do see the Salt Cure, it's going to come out and possibly pick up the kill. I think that is a crazy play. It could be Specs, so I'm not doing the calcs, but in the moment I felt like it was pretty crazy, but still, I think it's fine. You should be able to eke out a win here. You can just Salt Cure, and that is GG. So, like I said, really impressive, mainly on the Ceaseless Cerulege part. I thought they played their chips really well, especially with Registeel, which looks phenomenal and was phenomenal the whole game, being able to evade the guys and be able to get some chips. So, really liked how that was played. And Shell's gonna move to 3-1 with the Ceaseless Cerulege. So big time win. And on the Trick Room team's side of things, it was a very unfortunate loss, but that's kind of been the narrative this whole season of just not the greatest performances or not the greatest prep for war performances. I think you could arguably look at, hey, maybe some of the plays were bad, not going for CC, fearing Poltergeist, or whatever Rabambe's deal was, and not setting up sticky webs, or not. I would have loved to see Specs Rabambe or something interesting on Rabambe, and there's a lot that needs to happen with this team, especially playstyle wise. I think it's one thing for the team to be playing bad and for you to be coaching the team bad. It's another thing for it to feel like it's not really on the Pokemon, it's really on the coach and misusing the Pokemon. So it's partly on the mons, partly on the coach. I don't know, I just need to see something different with this team, because clearly what they're bringing right now, just not working. And that needs to be recognized and fixed. So, moving on, we have another Metronome battle. I really don't like Metronome battles. I don't think they're very interesting. I think for the players it's really cool, but for me as a spectator, I don't have much to say, because to me it doesn't feel like real battling. But that's just me, of course. But both of these teams kind of need the win. And JMS Pokemon specifically really needs the win. They came off of arguably 2 really bad losses up against the New Jersey Jellison, I think 3 weeks ago, or maybe that was opening night or whatever. But coming off that and the Kansas Clef Keys, they really need a big time performance to really put themselves back into the narrative. They're right now, I think I said they're 10th. They really need that win, and the Veilstone Fishers just haven't been having that great of a season. Some personal stuff, there's that going on, so you can't really blame the player for all of the mistakes, but we're seeing some of the new transactions here. We're seeing Tauros, we're seeing possibly Terra Tatsugiri. I haven't really watched this one just because when I saw it was Metronome, I was like, I'm gonna see Sing, we're gonna see Metronome, and it's certainly something. It is a battle, we're seeing a battle. Super Fang is a nice pull, Crunch is a really nice pull if you get the poison, you don't. High Jump Kick, cool, Recycle is pretty funny. Noble Roar is funny. Light Screen is Sting. Yeah. Split, great. I love gambling. Water Gun, doing a solid 2%. And Bone Rush, super effective move, is gonna do 4 hits, and then Poison Fang is gonna come out, probably poison, which it does. And now all of a sudden is in a really good spot. Screamtail is not. We see a Charge Beam from Magnezone, and then Resist, and then Magnet Rise, which is, Blunder Policy is pretty cool, but really a great set for it in general. Confirmed that there is no there is. It's dead though. It Charge Beam once. So photosynthesis Sunny Day is pretty cool. Charm, not really gonna do too much. Regular poison, I believe that was. Wo-Chen comes out on the bulldoze. Low kicks comes in on the growth, which is cool, but low kicks has skitter smack, so it's not gonna pick up the kill. Mudshot comes out. I believe Wo-Chen is now faster, which is gonna take advantage of. Bug Bite's pretty cool because there's been a lot of berries, at least on this side. Sing, miss, unfortunate, skitter smack. I think it lives on one. Sing missed again. Now you get bounce, neat. Shen comes in on the charm, neat. Nice doubles, bounce, paralyze, charm, Wo-Shen. Please, someone end my misery. Punch, Tentacruel into Giga, and then it dies because it clicked Whirlpool. Dynamic punch hits, confusion. Oh, we'll never know. Belly drum, okay. Geomic mortar is actually like is really cool. Okay, that's not how I thought it worked, and it's also faster. Yeah, Bug Bite actually kills, and it gets the Slack. Okay, that is GG's, and it's tinted lens. So this is also Slack. All right, and it has fucking reversal. Okay, and on the grass knot, cool reversal. Gonna pick up a kill. Okay, okay. The Intimidate is probably gonna be GG's because this is probably gonna live. It does. Bulldoze is gonna kill. What a interesting. We have the number 4 ranked Attack on Titans with Heracross and the gang up against Konihuna Cats, ranked as I believe the 7th best team. So we got 2 Titans clashing it out. We got some very interesting teams with very interesting sets. I've watched this battle. I think this is probably battle of the season at this point. I think it's just really well played on both parts. We're going to see some really nice prep on both parts. And of course, we're going to see some RNG. So what's not to love? I see Gujo come in on the Will-O-Wisp Chandelure, which is certainly interesting. Fez is going to come out on the Physical Earthquake. So already, first 2 turns are super fun, and we see Nasty Plot, Heat Wave, Pheasantipity picking up a kill. I jumped out of my seat when I saw that. I didn't, but it was really cool. It was really cool. Bite is going to get hit by the Rocky Helmet. Giga Drain comes out. It's going to recover most of it back so it can live another one and get flinched. So Mousehold is now going to be able to get some really nice chip on Shandy, which almost dies. It's going to get burned, which is whatever. Flame Charge is going to come out, so now Shandy is suddenly a threat. And then it takes 29 and dies. So is it a threat? I don't know. Already, first 10 turns have been really fun. Nasty Plot again on the free Craj. It's going to haze. It's going to... Facade, though, looks crazy, and Knock is clicked instead. No Trailblaze, which I think Trailblaze would have been really nice to see, but that is not... Is that rattled? Oh my god, that's insane. If that's rattled or Quick Feet, that's really cool. See a nice play rough, and this Mon is just gonna start cleaning up. Like, disrespected Gramble a ton, but this Mon, it's gonna get the predict, and then we're gonna have a Terra Blast miss. So like I said, some bad luck into this. Felt kind of like Pokemon President was going to this match. That's what it felt like the whole way through. You're gonna see Swampert pick up the kill, but Shadow's gonna kill. Lucario has barely been in, but I feel like its impact has been huge because it can just revenge whatever dies. Because of RNG, we haven't really seen that happen yet. For example, it had Vacuum Wave earlier. It had Vacuum Wave this matchup too. So it's like, I don't know. It's really funny on both sides. So really good game, really fun. Other game, Mon. We have another interesting matchup with brand new team pretty much with the Tauros Aqua. Tokyo Pachirisu side ranked as the 16th best team, and the California Crooks, who have been off to a not so great season, 1 and 2 to start things off. I believe Tokyo Pachirisus are 1 and 2 as well. Very, very interesting teams. One ranked as the 6th best, and the other ranked as the 16th best. Mostly it's because of record, it's because of competition played. You could argue that California Crooks have had the toughest schedule so far, having to play against the Cincinnati Willows the first week. Not the greatest start to a season, but, and then I think they played Screaming Scovillains, if I am not mistaken. I know they played the Bug Army, that's how they have their one win, but Deluxio Livy Legion, which at the time, I think a lot of coaches were very mixed on if they were good, if they were not good. So, interesting schedule. The coach is also, in my opinion, probably the best coach in the league. That is where the 6th team, that's where it gets it from. But no transactions on their side of things. Really looking at Tokyo Pachirisus, really looking at what they can do with this new team. I haven't watched this match, I believe, so see how this one goes. So, Articuno is going to lead. It's going to have to Terra turn 1 and take a Shy Shock. Going to get Chip, so in Blaze range is a little scary, but going to see Knock on the Specs, which is insane. The Wall Breaker, I think it's a really good bring against this team. Not a ton of switch-ins, especially without Chansey now. This was one of the switch-ins, and now you get a free Rhyperior or Rhydon, and it can just click a button. We're going to see high horsepower. They have Thwacky, so that's why that came out. Stone Edge is going to come out on the Terra Fire, which I think is an interesting play. I see hazards come up on this side of the field. Psychic Noise possibly on the Roost, or on the Roost, but we're going to see U-turn into Cyclozar, who can spin these. Doesn't, and it breaks in Claude. Psychic Noise, really smart play. I think it's probably a kill on Psych, that's why it was probably gone for. Spikes go up again. That's kind of the real worry of this team. The hazard control is a little bit off. Turtle probably should have gamed because, yeah, it's just really bad here. Also could, like, haze stuff. It could sit on Articuno. Yeah, see Confusion hit, which is unfortunate. As you see Synthesis, so this is probably Synthesis, Psychic Noise, Moonblast, Trek, which is really cool to see. And this isn't gonna kill, and Moonblast is gonna hit and kill it, so I don't like that at all. We're gonna come out, and now it just looks like an insane, like, I feel like Tokyo is really up now. It's a Delphox now without any switch-ins. Now it's forced to for a Psyshock. Gonna pick up the kill, but it gets revenged by Cyclozar, and now there's very interesting. I don't know what kills Clodsire on this team, especially since, again, Rhydon's going to be taken out pretty much soon. But we're going to see Thunder, we're going to see Calm Mind, maybe we see something, which I think is really interesting. On the Mud Shot, which is insane tech, now if it's max speed, it's faster. Freeze Dry comes out, so Hatsune Miku is putting in some big work. It's gonna die. I wonder what the Terra was. That could have definitely been interesting. Types are on. They were Terra Ghost, so Terra Ghost would have been real interesting if that was clicked, but we saw it wasn't. Now we're into the end game. We're gonna see some crit poison jabs. No poison. No poison. Leaf Storm comes out, it's going to do solid 17, unaware of course. No poison. Really unlucky with these poisons. There's still a Flamigo in the back. No poison again. No poison again. Leaf Storm miss, and no poison again. All spikes are out, so Rhydon is out of the game. I believe Servine's just in now to get Chip. No poison again! Lara comes out because why not? It's going to get parried. We're going to see Leaf Storm come out, parried again, Rhydon sacked, no poison jab, Brave Bird hits, poison jab, no poison, and that is going to be game. This is quite clearly Scarfed, as you see from that switch, and it has 7%, so Thunder's going to miss. See Synthesis, and we're going to see it try and, some stuff, but that is going to be game. So really interesting endgame. Really interesting endgame. I have a lot of I feel like I've already made my thoughts very clear about this team, but like I don't like it. I don't like how it's being ran, at least. I thought this was a very winnable endgame, especially with, in my opinion, how poorly the Crooks played the endgame, but, or not the endgame, the mid game. Um, I really think that this Tauros Paldea Aqua was misplayed, especially when you have, you know, you're supposed to go into. I for one definitely comes in my opinion. At that point in the game, I'm pretty sure like was dead, or at least very close to being dead. No, I was misremembering. So right here, yeah, this is pretty close to being dead. So I feel like Clodsire is the play here. I feel like you should just go Claude and you know, get a poison jab off. Great if it hits itself. You know, it's great. You can even go this and I don't know. I just felt like it was poorly played. When you had such an advantage on the hazard department. I hate to see it. But yeah, teams looking for a really good win at this point in the season, especially as the Tokyo Patrices fall to 1-3. California Crooks rise to 2-2. So hopefully they can put something together. They just haven't had that win yet on the season. Now we have the matchup everyone was waiting for: the Bug Army up against the number 11th ranked Screaming Skull Villains, who have had, you know, I put it in a word. To put it in 2 words, I would probably say that's my 2 words. Like, this season has just been terrible from, you know, matchups that they've had. They've had some really tough matchups. I think they've gone against, you know, 5 teams every single week. So, you know, hope one of those were a win, but definitely shown some fight, and you gotta hope that they will get a win. Start gaining some momentum, because that is what the team needs. No question about, like, when postseason comes around, you know, probably gonna win a game or 2, but really hope you can get some momentum, that you are in a situation where you're on the top side of the bracket. So if you do lose that game, you could still fight for, you know, good matchup in the bottom seeds and climb your way back up. But on the Bug side of things, really interested to see how Fortress works, especially in the Sun matchup. You're not really expecting it to put in that much work, but, you know, you're always welcome to surprises. So we're gonna see Gastro as the lead with Rocks. Double Rocks with Arceus Bug is so funny. We're gonna see Spin come out, which is correct. And now Fortress is out, so this should be a pretty free Ninetales, pretty free Skuntank switch in, I guess. When it's gonna come out, it's gonna absolutely eat Flamethrower, probably AV Water Bubble, and Knock is just gonna do, yep, AV. Knock is just gonna do a ton. I think people forget, but Water Bubble does make it a resist. So when there's quote unquote no fire resist, Araquanid is a fire resist. So I feel like this team does have some opportunities to win. Arceus Bug actually has a moveset, but Bug Buzz is not gonna kill. Stone Edge is gonna land, so not the greatest. I don't know necessarily if that was a roll, but even if it was, it doesn't look like it was in their favor at all. Beam is going to come out from the Gastro side of things. We're going to see Fortress start to set up some hazards, which is nice. Volt Switch predicting, I guess, the Hitmontop to come in. But we're going to see Spin on this side. Ice Beam again. I think both Mons are just waiting for the other to switch at this point. Spikes comes out. Earth Power is going to eat. It's going to eat some damage, so it's going to force a switch into Caterpillar. Edbell's pretty free here. Assuming that they go for webs. Now all of a sudden, Arceus Bug is getting sacked. And Rain Dance is going to get encored, so my moveset so far does not look good. I hope it could hit something, but to be able to clear hazards on this side of the field. Let's see, Recover come out, so that is 3 moves. So what is the 4th? Recover, yeah, seen that. Ice Beam, no freeze. Rain Dance, we've seen that. Okay, Healing Wish. See, now, I was watching this game. I've already watched this game, but a moment will always stick out with me as just like, oh, what the fuck? What is this Arceus Bug doing? Get it, it's Arceus Bug. You don't really want to show off with it because it feels kind of cheap. But no moves? No moves? No damaging moves. Nothing. I don't like it. I I'm gonna let the record show that I don't like this. I want to see Arceus Bug actually do stuff. I want to see it, you know, in low tier. Like, should be disrespecting teams, and you know, I think at this point doesn't even have a kill. Like, how bad Arceus Bug has been, and I just wanted to like kill. Like, I wanted to do something. Like, Rain Dance is cool, but like Surf, no liquidation, or I don't even know what it gets, but like damaging move, you literally have nothing for this Mon, because now guess who comes in for free? Like, what was the point of Healing Wish? Like, what was the point? You're now, like, you don't have offense anymore because you let your two guys that were offensive click one move and then die? Like, I think this was very poorly played, which is insane to say because it's a bug team. Like, bug team should totally not have any chance, but like, you did have a chance. It really did. But you lose Yon Mega and Araquanid so early on, and you don't have any other damage support. I mean, look at this. Like, this is just sad, and that's gonna be game. So Screaming Skull Villains are gonna get a big win, the first win of the season. That's really pivotal, where we could see tables possibly. Usually one team that usually does that, so be very interested to see, because this team has all the pieces. They just need to put it together, and you know, get a big win like this. It's nice. Bug Army side, I'm not expecting wins, but you kind of a little bit bad. You kind of like, this should have been a win, right? This should have been a win. Moving on, we have a very fascinating matchup. We have the Luxio Livy's Legion, ranked as the 8th best team, going up against Gone Armor Rouge, ranked as the 13th best team. I didn't forget. I totally did not forget. Very interesting matchup. I feel like it is... It's very interesting. It's one of those matchups where it seems very equal at the moment, but it's like this play away from being very lopsided in one team's favor. I think Sinistra is like carrying this matchup. I don't really know what kills it besides Flash, so that has to be the main objective so far. We're gonna see Surf come out, and which is gonna be able to tank. Frostlass comes out, and that's a demon. You don't really have too many switch-ins, and assuming this is, I would hope it specs Frostlass. It's gonna be able to wild charge, and possibly it's gonna quick. So Frostlass is now pretty much out of the game, even though like I said, like, I don't know what happens. I still feel like if Frostlass goes down, you're not really too worried. I feel like this team could definitely do some stuff. We see T-Spice, which haven't been locked in. The last 3 teams that have played have brought, and then Electricity goes down. So now I don't know. Now it feels pretty over at the moment, because Frostlass is that was a double. No sub is really interesting. I feel like sub is a no-brainer, but looks pretty over at this point. It's a 6v3. Encore is really cool tech. I really like that. Rhyperior, you're gonna double. You're not gonna find anything, but you are pretty free to set up, as we see. Slack off come out. Kind of wish this was you know, or something, but see Toxic come out for free. Sand Slash comes out, forces the switch. So I don't know what the Rock Polish was for, if you're gonna do something. Knockoff comes out, and now it's gonna live and it's gonna be able to strength that, but like doesn't look too great in the end game. As soon as Frostlass comes out, this is always gonna do something, whether it's not gonna be killed or whatever. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see a debond on it. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And I feel like the setup is, I feel like if you're on this side, this is why I want Calm Mind on this one. Like, what is the Iron Defense doing? It's not even a kill, which is so funny. But like, what does Iron Defense do? This matchup specifically. I don't know. See this poisoned, and then debond does come out, and it's gonna pick up a kill, which is like, this one looks like it's gonna win. Now it's not. Rapid Spin comes out on the on the S. So it did have SC. So it did. Why did you not go for? All right. That's so confusing to me. Why you don't just SD Rock Polish and then possibly win the game? But that was a game. That was a game. Sucks for Luxio's Livy Legion. I believe they're now 2-2 because they've had this win. They've had the win on California Crooks. So some big wins, but a loss like this is definitely going to hurt because while Gun Armors was projected to be a really good team, they haven't been. And give credit to them because they came out and they balled, but you can't help but be a little bit disappointed. I feel like the matchup, especially with Sinistra, and not well played. Especially like Charizard is really the shocking one. Like Terrifier Charizard for an answer for Frostlass is especially with Luxio being Luxio. So really interesting. We're gonna see some bounce backs. Hopefully, we've already seen a transaction on this side that will be covered. Episode, and now we got me. I got this. A very interesting matchup. I'm gonna commentate this a little bit just because I feel like both these teams very talented. We have the best team in the league, at least top 2, in the Cincinnati Willows, and we have top 5 New Jersey Jellicents. Top 5 New Jersey Jellicents, and yeah, coming off a bad loss against the Steamy Stunfisk. Really hope that was a win because, you know, so far they've had to play against the Kansas Klefkis, who we now know is a very talented team. They've had to play against Steamy Stunfisk, and now they're playing against the best team. So they've had really tough schedules so far, and you know, because of them, I'm obviously like, I'm not expecting them to win because I feel like I'm gonna win this matchup. I feel like I'm gonna win every matchup, but like, I'm looking for something out of this team, and what you're gonna see is not something. So I U-turn here. I expect not Toxic because it's Comatose. I expected Witch, a double. I wanted the Typhlosion Hisui. I assumed it's Specs. Ice Fang is unfortunate. Don't think it would have done too much. Toadscroll's gonna come in on a Toxic. Kamala now free as ever, and now I'm just sitting. Like, what do? You Leaf Storm, which isn't gonna do a lot. Typhlosion comes in on the Wish, and at this point I'm like, what is going on? Because now it's a free knockoff. Like, what is going on? And I get back to 100, so I'm just and then they just switch into, and I'm just like, what is going on? I get a free U-turn, I get to pivot. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very animated right now. Mountain Gale's a really solid play. I'm able to just Volt Switch out, bring in somebody, but like, but Jerry, I see Recover come out. I can, which is what I do on this foul play, and again, like, crit mattered, but Rock comes out, which is insane, just because, like, it seems good, but it's just gonna switch out. We get, Rapid, or not Rapid, but we get Rocks back up, and we get free Toxic, so I'm putting everything on a timer. I'm trying to get some chip, because Hydropple doesn't really look that great right now. I believe it's speed invested again, so that I can outspeed some stuff, but like, not really what we want to see. That is gonna do nothing to this little guy, so really happy about that. Really happy about this week in general. As you could tell, it was very fast paced because I felt like, I remember telling a friend after I played this match, like, I felt I was given the win. Like, that's how it was played. And I hope it's just, you know, maybe a game, but you're 0-3 against the best. You didn't particularly look good. Sucker Punch is also really cool. Like, I'm really happy I was able to show it off, but you have to think that it's somewhat on the coach at this point, because to go 0-3 against the best, to not particularly look good against the top, and, you know, give top teams, but like, you just for something, and I didn't really see it that something. And because of that, we're seeing transactions made. Again, that will be covered in another video, but yeah, really. And I'm gonna move to 3-0. I believe there were like 4 teams 3-0. Is insane. So really cool week. And the last match is probably the match of the week. We're gonna see a number 2 team taking on the number 3 team. Very cool stuff compared to freaking metronome. Alright. We're gonna see a Klefki lead. Poltergeist comes. We're really, I mean, both feel like loss. Whichever team loses isn't gonna be impacted, you know, too. It's a really bad loss, or unless it's bad prep. But so far, so good. We're seeing some, you know, nice on the Quillfish. I like because you expect Pain Split coming out, and it has the lowest HP. We're gonna see Spikes, which is really good because they don't have spin. Unfortunately, they have, 2 mons that are, you know, immune. We're just a really good double here because it forces, again, Klefki to come out. Toxic Spikes is really cool. We haven't seen, you know, Rapid Blastoise. Obviously, there's Rapid Spin on Avalugg, but, and it here, but, like, very interesting Acid Spray. Yeah, it's a, I don't like staying in because this could have Superpower or Drain Punch or something, but, still, you get Tauros in for free. CC, free recover if you want. I don't know about body pressing here, but I would think about it. Recover does count, forces the Klefki back in, and Quillfish gets to keep staying on the field. We're gonna see, you know, but, don't really know what that move is about, but, Electros comes in on a sunny day, brings in Blissey, and now I feel like we have a very similar scenario where it's U-turn, you bring in, you know, again, you know, shit. There's a really nice double, because it forces something to happen. Focus Blast is insane for, you know, predicting. I have a free Houndstone. Unfortunately, that is the move clicked. I wish it was press or something, but, you know, choosers, and plus that looks like a awful play, kind of. Free spin, you can just stay in and spin. I don't know if we'll see that, but we don't. Even here, I'm like, you just spin. I feel it's that kind of position where you don't really want Blastoise to take the chip. I think that's a fantastic play. You get rid of Quillfish, and now Gardevoir is a sack, and can't protect the game. I really like that. Klefki comes in, and now things are just getting chipped to Hazard. So Hazard's playing a huge role. We're not seeing Hazard removal on the other side of the field, which, I mean, and Klefki killed itself to bring in Avalugg, because it just wins this endgame. Gardevoir is die. Yeah, no, it wins. We see Spin finally come out, but at this point it's a little too late. We're gonna see Bulk Ups, and it's gonna start attacking, and then we see Brave Bird, and look how much Body Press does. I mean, it's sustainable. It just wasn't gonna win. We see come out, but at this point it's crits, and that's the crit. And I still think it was Avalugg's game to lose because crit does matter, but you also have Avalugg, which can just stay in and recover, and like even if it crits, okay, probably it's a kill, but like still it's damage itself, and you still have a Blastoise in the back. So Gardevoir goes down, and that is a GG. So Kansas Klefki is starting out as, God, one of the worst teams ranked, 15th, or 2019, 18, 16th ranked, and climbing all the way now to the #2 spot, and going against the Cincinnati Willows for week 5. So should be a lot of fun, and credit to all the coaches so far. I mean, Spun League, it's been a great experience for everyone. I know the Mons are having a hell of a time. Like, we're seeing the most interesting Mons being, you know, led very talented coaches, and you know, doing work. I mean, we're seeing Ross on the top of kill leader. We're seeing, you know, with stuff like Sucker Punch. We're seeing a lot of we're seeing Executor doing shit. Like, it's been a very fun coverage so far, and I'm very excited for the next couple of weeks. So, thank you for watching. Have a great one, and peace.